Hello everybody and welcome back to yet another video. Today you have picked up your bomber, you've used a class or you've built a class from the previous video in the top right corner if you want to take a look at what class that is and how the setup is. And today we're going to tackle how you attack capital ships, corvette and the blockade runner or the raider depending on what side you're on. So just to have in mind, some classes or some of the equipment here might change, so please have an open mind. But it's changing because it depends on how you want to attack capital ships. And we'll talk about that later on. So let's get into it. Sometimes it can be tricky, but let me teach you how you take down all these big ships. So before we get into how you should approach and attack an enemy capital ship vessel, the big ships, what you should do is when you just load up any match, load up an AI match. And don't spawn, just go into spectate, and then you spectate the raider, the blockade runner, all the big ships really. What you really want to do here is just find out where there's a lot of turrets. And the reason for this is because all of those turrets can be destroyed. And when you destroy turrets, it's going to be easier and easier to attack these ships. So for example, with the raider and the blockade runner, it's very easy to attack them from behind because there's a few turrets and almost no turrets that can shoot directly behind the engines. So if you're directly behind it, not too far away, but decently close, but not all the way in the engines or else you catch on fire. But if you're decently far away and you're close enough to the back of the ship, they cannot shoot you. So it's easy kills or easy corvette destructions. However, let's say there are people getting on your tail and you just want to swoop in, get some turret kills and damage the ship and then get out and get back in for another strafe. What you want to do is that you want to destroy the shield of the ship that you're attacking. Now, if you have enough time to get in close, the Goliath missile is very efficient. If you get under the shield, you can destroy things that are already shielded kind of thing. You can ignore the shields going in under there. However, spectate some of the ships and figure out where most of the turrets are, so when you do fire a Goliath missile into those turrets, you can destroy a lot of them at once. Now, here comes a thing that after you have destroyed the attacking corvette, like the raider or the blockade runner, this is where I would suggest either changing your left auxiliary, which is my laser cannon, and you might want to put it with something else. Now the reason why you want to do this potentially is if you want to get in, destroy or damage the main health of the ship as fast as possible, or if you want to try to get as much turret destruction and more XP for every attack you do in a ship. Now the laser I prefer because I can laser in the shield and it does a lot of damage. Laser, fire my Goliath missile, fire my rotary cannon, bug out, get back in, more attacks before I get in close. But this is all up to you. Now let's consider some of these options for the left auxiliary and what you might be able to change it out for. I'll do Imperial first and then I'll do the Rebel one, just so you have an idea of what you can choose from. So as we start with the Imperial side, of course, what you might want to change your CN or beam cannon with is maybe a torpedo. My recommendation would be the experimental torpedo that goes straight through shields. Now you do have the bombs as well, and if you were going to use bombs, I would recommend that you replace your Goliath missile with the boost kit, so you can go very fast, get onto the shields, drop your bombs, and be efficient. Now, I don't like to get in too close because I don't want to die, and if I can send a torpedo that goes through a shield instead of beaming a shield, I'll do that, and you get 6 of them. So it's a very good choice. The same goes with the Y-wing on the Rebel side. I would highly recommend the torpedoes over the bombs, but if you are going to go bombs and you want to get under the shield and bomb the entire capital ship and destroy hull sections, replace the Goliath missile with a boost kit and get going in under the shields. I would recommend keeping the Goliath missile and rather just putting on a torpedo instead of the beam cannon. The reason for this is because the Goliath missiles is also very efficient at killing other fighters and also taking out multiple turrets where it hits. So it's up to you how you want to balance this. But if you do want to change the laser cannon, I would say a torpedo that goes through shields, and then keep the Goliath to do maximum damage to shields, turrets, and enemy fighters. And when you've changed your loadout to your liking, be sure to look at the map and you will see some sections on the bottom left and the bottom right. And these will be the subsystem health for both capital ship, the main capital ships of the battle. Now to target these subsystems, you have to make sure that your controller binding or key binding is something you can remember, so when you fly against a big capital ship, you can click a button and it will target that subsystem. And if you destroy these subsystems, it'll be easier and easier to take out the big capital ship. And also it'll become weaker and weaker. But how you strike at those subsystems and how you destroy the turrets, that is up to you. You want to get under the shields or do you want to sit at a distance? It's all up to you. Hopefully you find some of this information useful, and if you do, be sure to hit the like down below. Subscribe for more Star Wars and other video games content. And until next time, have a good day. Bye bye.